Geeks and Gamers, Matt Unke here with your gamer goggles. And today we have another box breaking for you. This box breaking is of the 2-player starter set for Dropzone Commander from Hawk Wargames. I first was exposed to Hawk Wargames when I saw a video of Dropzone Commander, or the model that they offered at Salute 2 years ago, I think it was. And I've been kind of aching to get my hands on this ever since. Well, this is a big box. To put things in perspective, standard utility knife. There is, obviously, as you can tell, there's a ton of models in this box, a ton of plastic. So we're going to grab the plastic and we're going to set that aside real quick. We're going to take the rule book, which is quite hefty. That's quite hefty. It's probably 2 pounds. And we're going to take a look at the dice and the measuring kit that comes with it real quick. And the stand-up buildings is where we'll start with. Because they'll go right back in the bottom of the box. It'll be easier putting together. And zoom in just a hair here. Set most of these off to the side real quick. Now these buildings, they're, pretty detailed for stand-ups. They're really good. They're thick, high quality, cardboardish. Well, it's really paper stock, but they go together pretty quick. Well, since we're here and I can see how fast they go together, we'll go ahead and we'll kind of do this one. I'm doing this without looking at the instructions, so maybe I'm doing this wrong, but there's enough creases that it should be relatively self-explanatory. And these go in here, you fold the corners down, oh, you fold those corners down too. Well, obviously, you need to read the instructions because I just did that wrong. See, that's what happens when you do a box breaking and you've never seen the product. Sometimes you just kind of mess it up. Now, what I'm going to do with these pieces of terrain is I'm going to take pieces of styrofoam, because I have a ton of pink insulation foam lying around the house, and I'm going to cut those out and glue them inside for extra durability for when I go to shows. Well, there you go. And then when you're done, you can unfold it, put it back down. There's 1, 2, 3 buildings, 4 buildings, 5 buildings, 6 buildings, 7, 8, 9. That one's really pretty big, and the 10th one is pretty big as well. 10 buildings in the start. Next, we have the rule book, which, like I said before, it's pretty hefty. There's probably a video in this alone, so we're not going to spend a lot of time in the rule book flipping through it. We'll do a flip through on the rule book for you. and we'll get into the minis pretty quick here. As with most starters, for most miniature games, there's a series of pop-outs. It looks like you have the blast templates, firing arcs, and then there's objectives, intel, focal points. Those tokens appear to be one-sided. A quick reference sheet for the one faction and the other faction as well. The quick start turn sequence rules. Lightning raid grid. Let's see what's on the back. The Scourge Army reference sheet has Battle Group 1, Battle Group 2, and Battle Group 3 all listed. And then by picture it breaks down their stats and shows you their different stats. And it does the same thing for the UCM Army reference sheet. Something you don't get in a lot of starters is instructions on how to assemble their models, which is good because it looks like to me they were in more than just a few pieces, some of them. The playmat, or playmats, these are pretty big. We're not going to be able to get these on the screen. That's 2 of 4. Oh, but look at that high quality. Look at that. That is awesome. On the back of the playmat, you get a poster. And the playmats are 32 by 24, I'm going to guess, roughly. Here is some more information on different products that you can get from Hawk Wargames, some of their other models. Wow, some of these models are just amazing. I like this guy, the Scorpion-esque type of tank. Here's a pretty full city. KR multi-case mix cases pre-designed for a lot of the armies already. Another battle map, which on this one is this is another poster on the back side of it. This is huge. This looks like another city map. This one's got a park in it. Fold that back up and get it into safety. Take a flip through the rules real quick. Not much more than the table of contents is what we're really going to look at. Zoom in here so you can read it with me. Background, there's about 10 pages of it. Game rules, and then it leads into scenario. Game rules are only about 40 pages. That's pretty good. Scenarios, the 4 basic armies that they've got. Guest painters. Not sure what that is. We're going to take a look at that. Tokens and templates in the index. So let's jump into 150. Man, it's a thick book. Oh, guest painters. This is people who have painted their armies for them, or painted models using their minis for competitions and whatnot. So you have a PHR diorama there. Really, on camera, you're not going to get to see some of the great craziness. Well, that's pretty bad looking. You're not going to get to see some of the stuff. It's just it just won't show up on camera. So without wasting too much time, what you guys probably want to see is the models, right? So we're going to dive into the models, and this is the rule book that comes with the starter, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the time, probably in a week or so after this, after I've had a chance to really look through the rules, to go through the rules and give you about a 20-minute breakdown on the book. So, for the minis, well, these are the infantry bases. I could tell that from a couple of the posters / army quick reference sheets they have. So, it looks like each base gets a set of, like, what's that, five infantrymen. And then there's some clear plastic bases, which you can kind of see on this, I'm sure. With the black background it might be a little bit tough, but those are probably for the ships. And then we get to move into some of the models. And again, I'm not totally familiar with this, so I don't know a lot of these names yet. You can take a good look and get a pretty good idea of the detail on these. This is the these are the infantry guys here, and this is one of the vehicles, or it might be a ship for, you know, it's driving me nuts, so I'm going to go ahead and look. For the Scourge, that would be a Invader class ship, or Invader class vehicle. Without reading the rules, I really don't know yet. And then you've got the different bases and things for the other ships. Looks like they go together pretty easy. I haven't tried breaking anything off yet. It's a fine resin. It looks like it's a little firm in these here, like in these places here. It's pretty firm, so be careful when you nip it. But like this piece here, that's going to come off fairly easily. Ooh, look at that. Take a look at the detail. I don't know if that's exhaust ports from without putting the model together, or if those are supposed to be weapons of some sort. And it looks like for the Scourge, I have to zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole sprue. You get three identical sprues. And then for the CM, I said CR, whoops, you get 3 more identical sprues. So we're going to take a look at one of them, and we'll start with the infantry, which at this scale, how detailed can infantry be? This is probably the bottom of a vehicle, but look at this. Look at the amount of detail on there. And I'm going to use a knife to show you all the little ribbing / piping that they have in there for all their little conduits. I'm not sure where these go on the vehicles, but as you can see, they're pretty detailed. And if you flip them over, you can see the other side, which in some cases there's more detail on them, like on these. These were pretty smooth on the other side. Can I flip one? No, I can't flip one. There's a fine amount of detail there. And then the treads, obviously before you were looking at the outsides, and check out the wheels for the wheeled vehicle. That's pretty cool looking. The only thing really left, without having some assembly videos, is to take a look at the dice and some of these other. Ooh, I'm not sure what these are. I don't want to lose these. These are probably like little caps for the stands. Let's take a look at the tape measure that's in with the starter. Hawk Wargames. It locks. It unlocks. And it's both inches and centimeters. Some black dice with white pips. Have to roll them. I don't know if this is a high game or a low game, but I'd say at least on the first roll I'm above average. Above par there. And for the money. Oh no, I bombed on for the money. This has been a box breaking from Through Gamer Goggles on Dropzone Commander from Hawk Wargames. In a couple of days, probably next week really, we'll have a figure forge up on how to assemble at least one of the models, and we'll work through assembling every one for you so that you have a visual representation. Although, unlike many other game companies that are out there, they give you a very simple to follow guide on assembling things. That look, they even have building assembly for their cardboard building. So they did a real good job with their presentation for the box, and they want to make sure that you know how to put together their models. So you can learn more about Dropzone Commander at hawkwargames.com. And thanks for watching. We will be back shortly. Have a good night.